Sit back and watch as I show you how to cut a tongue and rabbet joint by hand. We first prepare the components square and true. Now using a marking gauge, set the gauge to just a hair over the width of the material you're going to make the tongue in. And describe the inside face of the material you're going to make the groove in. I like to deepen the line with a knife and the engineer's tri-square. I'm going to be using my miniature router plane to clean out the bottom of this groove. So I now need to mark for its width. So I set the iron against the marked knife line, and then mark a line right next to it. And then I can scribe that line in with a knife. Then I take a sharp chisel and create a knife wall against both of the lines from the waist side. And I can cut to those lines with my Japanese dovetail saw. We want to saw down to roughly 1/4 the depth, and to make sure all the saw cuts are consistent, I'm going to mark that depth with the marking gauge. Then we can start to remove the waste material with the router plane. You should end up with a lovely consistent groove. Set the tongue board in position so it covers the top of the groove, and make a mark that lines up with the other side of the groove. To measure for the depth, set the corner of the tongue board into the bottom of the groove and mark with a knife flat on the other side. And that's the waste we need to remove. Knife that line across the face. Set a marking gauge to the other line and mark along the end. Then prepare a knife wall and saw down to the lines. Leave the line when you're sawing the end grain, and we can perfect the fit to be nice and tight afterwards. We saw the end grain away from the line so that we get something that's just too tight, and then we can pare that down so it's a nice snug fit. Of course, if you've got a shoulder plane, you can use it here. And that's perfect. There seems to be a lot of dispute over what this joint's actually called. I found it called a tongue and rabbet in a book by Tag Frid, but I've also seen it called tongue and dado, a dado and rabbet, and several others. Give it a go. Cheerio!